Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will study entity relationship diagram. Entity means the things about him, the real world object about whom we are storing data in computer. Sometimes in RDBMS we connect all the entities with each other to represent replace relationship between these entities. We use a diagram. That diagram is known as entity relationship diagram or simply ER diagram. Before studying it, we should understand some concepts like in a table, if a field contains unique data item, that field is known as candidate key. It is possible that you have multiple candidate keys in your table. For example, here we have roll number, these are unique, CNIC number, these are unique, mobile number, these are unique. So if we have multiple fields or single field that contain unique data item, that field is known as candidate key. Now, the second term that we need to study is primary key. Primary key is a field that is used to connect to create a relationship with other table. Like here, we are using roll number as a primary key. It is possible that we have compound primary key. Like here, in this table, we have roll number and subject. They are combinedly unique. For example, we have 101, 101 twice, and we have econ twice, but the combination of roll number and subject is unique. You may observe that here 101 econ and then 103 econ. So if in a field a single table in a table a single field cannot be used as a primary key, so then we create a compound primary key. But the compound primary key must contain unique data items combinedly. Like here we have studied that 101 is stored multiple time, econ is stored multiple time, but the combination of roll number and name is unique. Roll number and subject is unique. So it is known as compound primary. So candidate key is a field that contains unique data item. There may be single candidate key in a table. There may be multiple candidate keys in a table. So any field that can be used as a primary key is considered as candidate key. Out of these, we uh, decide a key, primary key, uh, that will be used to link the table with other table. If a candidate key is used to link a table with other table, it is known as primary key. And if a candidate key that is not used as primary key, it will be considered as secondary key. A secondary key is a candidate key. A primary key is also a candidate key. But primary key is a field that is used to link the table with other tables, and secondary key is a candidate key that is not used as primary. Then we have a concept of foreign key. Foreign key is a key that is the foreign key is a field in a table that is used as primary key in another table. For example, if we consider these two tables, here roll number is used as primary key and this roll number is also used in another table. Now here it is considered as foreign key. Right, beta? Then there is a concept of referential integrity. Referential integrity means the use of a foreign key to ensure that a value can only be entered in one table when the same value already exists in reference table. For example, in this table, roll number is used as a foreign key. Now in this table you cannot enter a roll number that is not that doesn't exist in a table where roll number is used as a primary key. For example, here you can store roll number 101, 103, 104, but you cannot store in this table 105, 106, 107 roll number. If you want to enter 105, 106 here, so firstly you will add these in a table where roll number is used as primary key, right? This is known as referential integrity. Now, we need to create a relationship between the tables. To represent relationship between tables, we draw a diagram. That diagram is known as ER diagram. We have multiple levels of relationship. It may be one to one, one to many, many to many, or many to one. Now we can see it in these two tables. Roll number in that table, in this table, roll number is stored only once. A single roll number is stored only once. Like here we have stored 101. It is stored only once. And in this table 101 is stored multiple times, so we can say that these two tables have a common field, and in these two tables we have a relationship that can be considered as one to many. Roll number is entered here only once. A single roll number is entered here only once, and roll number, the same roll number can be stored in this table multiple times. So we can say that there is a one to many relationship. Uh, Suppose here many to many relationship. Uh, we can say that an author can write several books, and a book can be written by several authors. So if you want to develop a relationship between books and authors, so it will be many to many. You have observed that a book is written by more than one authors, and it is also you will observe that a author does not write only one book. A author may write many books. So there will be a many to many relationship between authors and books here. Sometimes we have one to one relationship. For example, in a country we have only one capital city, and in and a capital city can be related to only one country. So the relationship between country and capital will be one to one. Now, how to identify which type of relationship can be developed in among between tables. So for example, we have three tables: student qualification and student qualification. Firstly, we want to study a relationship between these two, student and qualification. To develop a relationship between these two tables, we know that one student can study multiple qualifications like computer science, math science. You are studying computer science, you are studying maths, you are studying econ or physics or chemistry or psychology or other subjects. So one student can study multiple qualifications, and in one uh, qualification there will be multiple students. Like in computer science, there is possibility that many students are studying computer science. Huh? So there should be a one-to-many relationship. But to develop a one-to-many relationship, we need to know the common fields in these two tables. Here you can observe that student ID is not written over here, first name is not written over here, last name is not written over here, or tutor is not over. Qualification code is not in student table, level is not in student table, subject is not in student table. To develop a relationship, we must have some common fields. There is none of the fields are common. And we know that there should be a many to many relationship. Why many to many relationship? Because one student will study multiple qualifications, and in one qualification there must be multiple students. So there should be a many to many relationship, but it cannot be implemented directly because we don't have any common field. In this situation, we develop another table. That table is known contain the primary key of both the previous tables. Like here, you may observe that here we have qualification code, qualification code. Here we have student ID, student ID. Here we will use both of them as compound primary key, right? Now we are asked to now we can create a relationship between these two tables, and we can create relationship between these two tables. So this table is used to develop a relationship between these two tables. So we can draw uh, an ER diagram like this. We will write down the name of all field tables. Like here it is a student, it is student qualification, and this is qualification. Now we want to develop a one uh, to many relationship between these two, but as both of them don't have a common field, so we cannot develop it. Uh, So we will develop a relationship between student and student qualification. If you are comparing that in student table, student ID is written only once as it is a primary key. Here student ID is written multiple times, like you may observe 003JL, 003JL. Here it is known as foreign key. Now the relationship between student and student qualification is that in student table student ID is written once, and in student qualification student ID is written multiple times. So there will be one to many relationship. Now we find out the relationship between qualification and student qualification. In qualification and student qualification, we have these common fields. Here qualification is used as primary key. Here it is used as foreign key. Now you may observe that CS1, MT9 and C SC12 are written only once, and here SC12 are written multiple times. We know that in a qualification there may be multiple students. But in student table, in qualification table, there will be only one qualification, as qualification ID, qualification code is primary key. So there will be a one to many relationship. Or We can draw it. In student qualification, there are many students with same qualification code, and in qualification table, call code is written only once. So the relationship between these two table will be one to many. It means if we want to develop many to many relationship, so it cannot be implemented directly. We will create another table, and with the help of that table we implement many to many relationship. This question was uh, asked in exam once, that relationship cannot be implemented directly. Many to many relationship cannot be implemented directly. State the type of relationship between student and student qualification. It will be many, one to many. Acha, here we have another question. In this question, a relationship is given and you are asked to identify which type of relationship is this. So we can say that there is many to one relationship. Now, a relationship, uh, now, how relationship is implemented, you are asked to complete the design for inner stable, and there may be some data will is given, like here we have area A, area B, two areas, and in each area there are several wards. All the ward name are different. Number of nurses are based in area A. These nurses always work on the same ward. Each nurse has a unique ID of string data type. So in A ward, there are ward name and number of beds. In A nurse ID will be written, first name will be written, family name will be written, and it is mentioned that these nurses always work on the same ward. So you need to write down ward name over here. Here ward name is primary key. Mostly the primary key is represented by underline. So we can say that ward name is primary key in this table. If ward name is primary key in this table, so we can say that ward name is foreign key in the other table, right? Complete the design. Okay, we have completed. Now you are asked to how the relationship is implemented. Huh? What we do, we connect word name of a word. Word name of a word is linked with. Now, how do we implement it? We will write down that word name of a word. One minute. Name of a word is linked with the word name in a nurse table. Here, word name is primary key in word a word table, and foreign key in a nurse table. Now, here in this diagram, B nurse and these shapes represent that there are many to many relationship between There is many to many relationship between these two words. So we can write down many to many relationship. Right, beta? The relationship is many to many. Now, here, B nurse ID, first name, family name, specialization, and B ward name, number of beds, specialism, right? Specialism and specialism. Now, B ward, dash nurse. We have studied that if there are many to many relationship, uh, uh, so it says that, here, there is a many to many relationship between B nurse and B ward. A nurse can work. Acha, acha. It says that in area B of the hospital there are number of wards and a number of nurses. Each area B ward has a specialism. Each area B nurse has a specialism. A nurse can be asked to work in any of the area B wards. In the first scenario, we have studied that a nurse can work only in one ward. Here it says that in B area, any nurse can be asked to work in any other ward. ठीक है? A nurse can be asked to work in any area B ward where their specialism matches with the ward specialism. The relationship for the area B of the hospital is B nurse is many has a many to many relationship with B ward. Right, now you are asked to implement this relationship. We have studied that many to many relationship cannot be implemented directly, so we need to, because if both the table don't have any common field. You can observe nurse ID is not given over here, ward name is not given over here, so none of the field are common. In this situation, what we need to do, we need to uh, develop we need to create another table that contains that contains common field of both the tables. So here we will write down, in this table we can use two fields. One field is nurse ID and another field is ward name, and both are used as a primary key. In this table, if we study individually, so this is primary key and this is foreign key. It is primary key and here it is foreign key. Now you are asked to implement this many to many relationship. We cannot connect B nurse with B ward because there is no common field. So we will connect B nurse with B ward nurse table. Here the nurse ID will be written only once. Here it will be written multiple times. B ward name will be written in this table only once. Here it will be written multiple times. So there is a many to many relationship between B nurse and B ward that is implemented by another table. It cannot be implemented directly. So we have created another table, and with the help of that table we have implemented many to many relationship between B nurse and B ward. Now the relationship between B nurse and the B ward nurse is one to many. The relationship between B ward and B ward nurse is many one to many. ठीक है बेटा, this is the way we implement the relationship. Here, here you are asked to implement, so there is a one to many relationship between class and class group. You are asked to implement it. So what will we do? We will do the same thing. huh? The primary key in class table is linked with the foreign key, primary key in class table class ID is linked with the foreign key in class group class ID, right? This is the way to implement relationship between these two tables, right? So we write down the primary key, primary key, student ID, uh, primary key, class ID of class table is linked with foreign key, class ID in class group table. Describe the relationship between class group and student. So it will be in class group and student, right? Class group and student. In the student table, student name will be only once, and in class group it will be written multiple times. So there will be many to one, because firstly they have written class group, so it contain many. So we will write down many to one relationship. Right, Bacho? So this is the way that you are asked to develop a relationship. Sometime it is mentioned that, and then you are asked to develop the relationship here. For example, shop ID is written only once in shop table. Shop ID will be written multiple time in shop supplier. So you can write down shop supplier. So there will be one to many relationship, and uh, supplier. Sorry, I should write down shop over here. Right? So in shop table, shop ID is written only once, and in supplier shop supplier it will be written multiple times. Mostly this type of table which are used to implement many to many relationship between other two tables has many a relationship of many, and these table have relationship of one. You may observe it. Right, you are asked to identify the primary key in shop table. Primary key in shop table is shop ID. Primary key in foreign key in shop table, there is no common field, so nothing. And shop supplier, an explanation of use of foreign key. अगर कोई foreign key होगी तो आप explain करोगे. तो shop के table के अंदर shop ID is primary key and no foreign key. In supplier table, supplier ID is primary key. No foreign key. In shop supplier, shop ID, comma supplier ID are primary key, and shop ID and supplier ID are foreign key. And you will explain that shop ID and supplier ID are used in shop and supplier table as primary key. ठीक है बेटा, in this way you will develop a ER diagram. That's all for today. See you next time, inshallah.